Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for the collective. So, because it is a collective reading, I'm doing it with my big combined deck of tarot cards and astrological oracle cards. So, you see both of them in your reading today. There are very, very potent energies here. And actually, I pulled these cards yesterday for the portal 22nd of February. So, 2202 or 0222. um, and it feels like yesterday was not the day to record the message just because there is this intense continuation from the last reading that I did with this one. It feels like this is kind of like the next level, which is giving me a little bit more of insight or more information in regards to what is this growing process that the collective is going through right now. And it feels like yesterday was the day to integrate the message, to receive the message, to allow it to ground into my being, ground onto the table, actually. Um, and so today it feels a little bit more appropriate to speak of it, to talk about it. It's almost like, and I'm just saying this because it is part of the message, right? It feels like there's something that was meant to be experienced, directly experienced yesterday. And so now, one day later, and it doesn't really matter when you're watching this, but it's almost like it feels like there is something that is meant to be experienced. And then the next day is the day for integration. It's the day for you to speak of it. It's the day for you to be able to put words into what you experienced. And I feel like that's because there's been kind of like a preparation. If you watched the last reading that I posted for the collective that was talking about this growth, that part of the collective was coming together in a gathering to allow this aligned growing, organic growing to happen. And it feels like here that that is that is continued, that is strengthened, but it feels a little bit more like an initiation. It feels a little bit more like now the structure, the foundation is ready to receive people, right? Because not only we're beginning with the Four of Wands, that was the card that was so central to the last message that I posted that was talking about this foundation, right? The organic foundation that was growing from the ground up. And that needed nurturing from a group of people, from like these wise people that were there with the intention to help this growth, right? But here, actually, we're beginning with two cards. So we do have the Circle of People, which is symbolized by the Sun card from the Astrological Oracle deck. So it's interesting how we have the same structure, the same foundation, and yet the circle is here. And there is this small dot that is representing the Four of Wands, right? So it's kind of like if you zoom in to this dot, to this central portion of the circle, you're going to find this foundation, right? But it needs the energy, the aura, the field, right? The energetic field for this to be like, it's not exactly to be stable, but it's to be activated or to be working properly. It's kind of like it's almost like a central rod is what I'm hearing. I don't know exactly what it is, but it feels like a pole, or like it could be, it's not coming through as fire, um like a bonfire. It's not coming through like that because it's more organized, it's more order than that. It needs, the four pillars, the four poles, the four values, the structure that is grounded, right? And because of that, it can grow, right? So, but it's interesting how it's the sun, and astrologically speaking, the sun talks about the power of self shining your brightest light. So, how can one sustain this, but also with others, right? Because this is a message for the collective, but for individuals that are part of this collective. And it's interesting how, the last reading was talking about the group of people that were sustaining this circle, right? Sustaining this energetic field. But today it feels like, and I don't know if you watched the extended portion for the last reading, but it has to do with the message that I'm talking about right now, because the next card is the Two of Wands, and this card was opening the extended um, for the last reading that I did. So for the collective that I posted on Friday. So the Two of Wands represents half of this structure, and it was talking about the steps leading to this, which I do feel like it's intended to come to the public, to the broader audience, to the viewers that were not there in the extended, but are now here ready to take this step, right? Because there is intention, there is drive, there is passion, there is motivation, but there's also this in place. It's crucial that this structure is functioning, is already active, is already sustained enough. It's like it's grown to the point that it can offer something, which is, I feel like, this initiation into this sovereignty, but not the sovereignty that is for your benefit. It's kind of like the sovereignty to serve. Okay, and we're going to get there in the last row of cards. So here, this structure needs to be ready, the circle needs to be formed, needs to be constantly sustained by people who already know who they are, right? It's like they already know the light that they bring. So that's the reason why, this central energy is not fading away. It's not going to vanish. It's like it's being sustained by these ones who are in the circle, right? In this group. And so you potentially, who is taking the steps, right, towards this initiation, this initiatic circle, you're part of a larger group. It's not just you. It's not something that it's exclusive to you. There are others, right? But it seems like you are the first one to go. You are kind of like the brave one to take the first steps. Those who are coming in the line after you, right? Because this is what the Ten of Wands is representing. It's kind of like they are. It's not like they are scared, but they need proof, or they need some sort of reassurance that you going first are going to give to them, right? So your steps are encouraging those who didn't have, well, they have the courage to show up, they are standing in line, they are going to go through the same experience that you are going through. And now I'm being reminded that perhaps you have already gone through, right? But you were the first one, and then the other ones that are here, it's like they wanted to see how you would react or what was going to happen. It's almost like such a energetic thing that it's it's hard to put into words, it's hard to define, it's hard to explain. It's like it's only when you are there that you can really feel for yourself. And so these ones, it's like there is this buzz, there is this energy of the collective that are behind you, or that were behind you, that in a sense pushes you. It gives you even more, it's like this drive, this eagerness to go, right? It's like you're eager to go first, or you were eager to go first, and then these ones are bubbling. They are, it's like this effervescence energy, right? It's like you going first is igniting this power, right, within the others who are watching you go first. And so what happens when you go first is that not only you are initiated because you are being granted the light of the sun, because we have another sun. So first we had the sun of the astrological oracle deck, and now we have from the tarot deck. So it's interesting how this one is, it's like the energy is concentrated in the center, right? So it's going inwards. This one, however, is the opposite. It feels like this is the ignition that happens. This is the initiation. It's what I'm hearing actually, that happens when you place yourself in the center of the circle. And then when you receive all of the energy that is coming towards you, towards the center of the circle, that's when you are ready to irradiate your own light, because there is this it's like this 360-degree type of energy, right? It's like you are in the center of this energy field, and it's just so potent that your light, it's almost like this light bulb moment. You there is no distinction between front or back or sideways. It's like you have this understanding of yourself as, this totality being, the being that is like a sphere. It's like you see yourself as a sphere, right? You have the understanding of yourself as a sphere, almost like as this being that is irradiating light in all directions, because this is what this initiation does. It's like this is what this process is. It's like it's igniting your light because it's concentrating, it's focusing all of the energy in the center of the circle. And then it's kind of like this it's like this spark. I don't know how to explain. It's almost like this light bulb moment that happens, and you're ignited, right? Your light is ignited. But you see here how it's like it's from the void, it's from the darkness, it's from, nothingness. That's where it's like your brightest light comes through, because it's kind of like you receive all of this input, and then all you can it it's almost like it's impossible not to express. It's impossible to hold the energy. You just cannot. It's like you need to move, you need to shine your light, right? In all directions. So, what this brings to you, because it's kind of like this, it's the sun, but in two different ways of expressing, or two different ways of igniting and shining, because it's like this completely potent focus in the center, and then from the center it expands to every direction possible, right? And it's kind of like the light and the darkness, but it's the same being, the being that you are, right? And then this brings balance, because the Libra card that is here, it represents the scales that are now in harmony. So this is kind of like the it's almost like the symbol or the sign that these ones know, that these ones receive when your process is complete, when your initiation is complete, because there is this sense of almost like going through, the bump on the road, going through the challenge, going through like this climbing up and then going down. So there is this task, in a sense, right? There is this elevation and then going back, but it's not challenging, it's harmonious, right? It's like it's very balanced, it's like the energy, it's very fluid, it's very flowy, it's not dense, it's very light, it's very airy. So the light can flow, the light can irradiate from you in a very harmonious way. And that's when they know that your process is complete. You have come up and now you can come back down, right? So, and it's interesting, there's something else coming from this Libra card. I've never seen actually this image that I'm being given right now, but for some reason, this bump on the road is actually pointing to the knee. And perhaps it's kind of like this, it's not exactly the sign, it's not the sign that these ones are going to recognize, because it feels more energetic, it's not so visible. However, you are going to feel that your process is complete, that you are in balance, right? That you have achieved this balanced state, because when you are so expressive, when you cannot hold your energy any longer, you're just ignited. It's like the desire is going to come to your knees. It's like it's going to make you want to just feel gratitude, right? It's like coming to your knees in the sense of showing your reverence, showing your gratitude, right? So that's the reason why it's pointing to the knees. So you see how it's correlated, right? It's not exactly, it's not because the ones in the circle are seeing you coming down to your knees in gratitude for your experience that they know that this has ended. It's before that, but it's connected because you feel the same energetic download or integration process, or like embodying all of this light, receiving all of this energetic potency, and then expressing. And then in expressing, the first thing is to come down to your knees, right? And so that is it's almost like it's part of the initiatic steps, or part of the initiatic rituals. But remember, there is the part of going up and then coming back down, right? So it's leveled, right? So in a sense, you are coming back to the same experience, but changed because you've been through this elevated experience. So you're coming back to the same terrain, but now you are shining your brightest light and you are in harmony. And so these three cards that are here, they're all actually the same message, but they are emphasized in different levels, because the Six of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Six of Cups are talking about the bridge. So the Hierophant is the bridge between heaven and earth, right? So the subtle, the divine, and the mundane, the human level of understanding. But the Six of Pentacles to me is sometimes it comes through as a train track that is in motion, but today is coming through specifically as, the physical bridge, the one that perhaps it's like you're going to realize that you have crossed, um, that you have been able to perceive the building of this bridge, because it's kind of like you feel the support, right? You feel the support in going through this experience. So, remember, it's not just meant for you. This is not something, for you alone, but you have to do it by yourself first. And each person standing in this line is going to go to the center for this experience individually. So, but everyone in the circle, and perhaps even those who are here because it's part of this bridge, right? It's like, remember, these ones were giving you the incentive, the push, the motivation, the last drive, almost like this it's like these words of encouragement, right? It's like, oh my god, you're so amazing, you're going first, you're so brave, right? So these words of encouragement, so they are also part of, not necessarily the direct circle that is here doing this work of sustaining this structure, but it's also part of the process, because you're going to go by them the moment that you come back from this experience. And so this is the realization that you have crossed this physical bridge, because you're going to recognize elements or people, or like the landscape, right? Whatever physical, like emblems is what I'm hearing, like physical, what is the word? Like like signs that you recognize, signs that you know that you have seen before because you have been through this when you were going for this experience, right? But then when you go back, when you cross back, right, when you are on the other side of this experience, now you're not the same, because you're so bright. It's like your light is so, it's like it's emanating without you even realizing. You come back as the Hierophant. You come back as the wise one. You come back, and it's interesting because in the last reading that I did, it was all about, the first part was talking about the ones that were helping to sustain this growing structure, and then the extended was talking about the ones that were taking this leap, even though there was a little bit of doubt in the beginning, but taking the leap to be part of that, right? And so here it feels like it's complete, right? The experience is now complete, because when you come back, you do come back as the Hierophant. And it's beautiful because you have the mission, in a sense, part of the reason why you went there, to bring this out of you, right? To bring this brightest light that you can, that you are already, it's because you're meant to build bridges to keep on extending this bridge because you've seen it. It's like you have proof that this is real, right? That this is not just your imagination or a fantasy. You know the reality of this. You embody this. You are the bridge. Wherever you go, you are building the bridge through your heart. So whomever's hearts, right, you touch, you are already building bridges. And I feel like that, it's like that is such a noble mission because you, it's like you know now that that is it's kind of like an official purpose. It's not, it's very, it's so embodied, it's so you, it's so bright, it's so undeniably you that you cannot help but express that, right? And express that with harmony, right? With balance, with justice, knowing that no matter how many bumps on the road, it's like it's part of the initiation that you just went through, that these ones are going to come, to feel, to experience for themselves. So you see what it's like, you come out of this experience completely reassured that you hold this very beautiful mission of building bridges, of being the bridge for whomever you cross paths with, right? And I feel like that's not just you being you, because that is the main part of that. But there's also something that is here peeking through the bottom of the deck, which is the card for Mercury. It's being the spokesperson, it's being the one who speaks, is being the one who is going to tell the story, right? You're going to tell the story of your initiation, because that is also part of you being the teacher, which is now reminding me of how the Hierophant, a while ago, at the end of last year, it was talking about the new teacher that is emerging from the shadow, perhaps emerging from this void that actually gives space for the brightest light to be shone, which is you teaching about your experience is creating bridges, right? Not only physical, but also like these subtle, more it's like these invisible bridges, but they can be felt, right? Because you have felt the energetic field while you were here, so now you carry that. So wherever you go, not only you are the proof, or you are like a witness, right, who has experienced that, but you are carrying all of these energies, all of these frequencies. And that's the reason why, by being you, telling your story, it's like you are a messenger. You become a teacher by being the messenger, right? So I feel like there is more. It's interesting how in the last reading also, the first part was kind of like hinting at something that is deeper, just like it showed up in the extended last time. So I feel like this messenger, it's like the message goes on and on. It's like, the bridges are meant to be supported now, are meant to be extended now, are meant to be built, not just physically, but also emotionally. And through these initiations, right? So it's like you are now a representative, you are now a spokesperson for your initiation. And it's interesting, it's not about the method, it's not about the circle, it's not about, it's kind of like your light, the waking of your light, the it's like the unlocking of your potential, right? Because it's who you are that matters. It's your story. It's how you experience that really is going to touch people's hearts, right? By speaking the truth of your heart, which is also something that um, came through in the first collective reading that I feel like I did for this new cycle, for the rebirth cycle. So I am going to pull more cards to see where this message wants to go next. And also, I'm going to pull from the astrological rooms in the extended reading. So, if you want to join me there, I'll leave the link down below. Remember, it's the new platform. So, if you have Any issues with the checkout or whatever it is, please let me know. Send me an email, and I'll do my best to help you with that. And if not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.